You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible.
The fourth white supremacist was arrested and convicted for his role in an attack on a 20-year-old African-American man during the 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. He was sentenced Tuesday to little more than 2 years in prison. Tyler Watkins Davis of Middleburg, Florida, entered what is known as an Alford plea in February on malicious wounding charge in a vicious and widely seen beating of DeAndre Harris, a former special education instructional assistant. The plea meant that Davis, who belonged to the extremist group League of the South, announced prosecutors had sufficient evidence to convict him if he had gone to trial. Even though Davis's assault on Harris probably resulted in Harris's worst injury, he was given less time behind bars, 2 years and 1 month, than the 3 other defendants already sentenced. All right, I'm going to use Scott. Because the Alford plea is where you're saying, look, I'm not admitting guilt, but I am saying that there's enough evidence to convict me if I had gone to trial. The judge made the point that because he only struck the assailant one time and he didn't stomp him and beat the hell out of him, that's why they gave him a lighter sentence. But what do you think about that justification, even though the one time that he hit the assailant resulted in a head gash and eight stitches being required?
Yeah, it's totally discretionary on the judge, and this judge certainly felt that way, but there seems to be great inequity because while the other 2 were sentenced, and I believe they tried one of them, the defendants in that case, they got a longer sentence. Here, the Alford plea had a lot to do with this. You do an Alford plea, the government agrees because they got problems with their case, and you got a defendant that won't admit guilt but doesn't want to go to trial, and so it's a little bit of both. But he admits that if he went to trial, they have enough evidence that could convict them, just for our listening audience. But he did the most damage. But the Alford plea saved him, and that's the rationale the judge gave. I disagree with the rationale, quite frankly. They all been sentenced the same because they acted in concert. You can see from the video, they acted in concert, and they acted in a conspiracy. As a result, the level of damage and the level of criminal intent, if you will, is irrelevant. It's all the same. And had I been the sitting judge, I certainly would have treated it that way, especially it being a race-based attack. And what we all know about Charlottesville and what happened shortly after that, where a white woman was killed fighting Nazis in Charlottesville in 2018. Just really tough. Really tough.
All right, and Cleo, on that point, I've tried plenty of cases where an African-American bust somebody upside the head one time and it was charged as an aggravated assault. If they did it part of a gang, then they would charge them, as you said, in concert with others, and they would get 10, or the mandatory minimum would be 10 years or 20 years to serve 10, credit for time served, something along those lines. What does it say about the inequities of the criminal justice system?
Well, early in the show, you made a passage that said the protection, say it for us.
The complexion for
there
protection.
It is, the complexion for protection. Clearly, that's a issue here, but I also think that the people that were defending this guy were concerned about precedents. It's a precedence to make sure somebody don't get as much as the others, particularly if they did the worst damage. You understand what I'm saying? When there's a white supremacist, a white nationalist, and bias context behind the whole thing and driving the whole thing, because if they had their way and it wasn't for the national coverage, they probably would have all got away with it. And if it wasn't for the video coverage of the whole thing.
And remember, the victim, the complaining witness in these 3 cases, he was tried and absolved of any wrongdoing, but he was arrested and tried because he defended himself, essentially.
I remember that. But, you know, this is another cliche. The Alford plea possibly was a good strategy, but also being white was a strategy.
That's always a really good strategy. And I recommend that for black folks. If you can be white when you go to trial, you can probably cut the sentence down by a third.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, November 7th through 11th, I want y'all to join me in Cabo, Mexico for the Life Luxe Jazz experience, folks. It's going to be an amazing, top-notch music and upscale destination. The weekend-long event is going to be held at the Omnia Day Club in Los Cabos. Ooh, looks real good. Of course, nestled in the Sea of Cortez and the celebrity playground of Los Cabos, Mexico. The Life Luxe Jazz experience offers a huge event for jazz aficionados, and folks are going to have food, going to have music, all those fun things, luxury accommodations, you name it, taking place, including golf and spa, health and wellness options for all of you. You got big names in entertainment for the second annual Life Luxe Jazz experience. Among those folks who have been, of course, confirmed, comedian actor Mark Curry, my frat Gerald Albright, Alex Bouillon, Raul Madon, Incognito, Pieces of a Dream, my favorite Kirk Whalum, Average White Band, gospel artist Johnny McClurkin, Shalea, Roy Ayers, Tom Brown, Ronnie Laws, and Ernest Quarles. An amazing lineup of folks that you want to be able to check out, folks. So you're going to come on down to Cabo. And in fact, we're going to be doing Roland Martin Unfiltered there on the 7th and the 8th, that Thursday and Friday, right there from Cabo. It's going to be a phenomenal opportunity. Those of y'all who are in, of course, the cold areas in the country, yeah, come on, give me the beach back. In the cold areas of the country, come on down to Cabo for those days in November. It's going to be fantastic. For more information, please visit the website at lifeluxejazz.com, lifeluxejazz.com. I would love to see you there. My birthday is right about 3 days after that, so we can also make it a birthday celebration. And so it's going to be a phenomenal experience. Go to lifeluxejazz.com if you're looking for a great opportunity. Got some great packages running anywhere from $1,300 up to $2,000. But again, jazz concerts, food, music. We're going to have a grand time. And see, there'll be one of those folks who go, dang, I wish I had gone. You got an opportunity. So go to lifeluxejazz.com right now for all of the details. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.